Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to Christopher's Entertainment Blog. I am your host, Chris. Welcome back for another review video for The Flash, Season 2, Episode 18, entitled Versus Zoom. We finally are back from that break. Another hiatus that we had, we're finally back. Wow, guys, this episode was really cool. I really enjoyed this episode overall. I thought it was a really solid episode to come back after that break. I was a little worried actually that we were going to get like after this long break again that we were going to get an episode that was doesn't really live up to my expectations or whatever from coming back from a break like that, because sometimes when you wait and you have an expectation of a great episode coming up and then you see the episode and it doesn't quite deliver. But this one here I thought was really good. I really enjoyed the episode thoroughly. Some of the positives that I had was I really felt like this laid the foundation going forward, and it set up the rest of the season. You know, seeing the backstory of Zoom and knowing his history that of how he grew up as a child and seeing his father shoot his mother in front of him, and seeing that he was put in an orphanage and that nobody wanted him. And I really like that mirror image of, you see Zoom later on in the episode tell Barry that, we're almost the same. You could have easily became me, which is true. There was a little bit of a difference in that Barry had a loving support system in place. There were people that actually wanted him, with Joe taking him in, who took care of him as a son. And you had Iris. You had that one scene, the one flashback scene with Iris on top of the steps holding out her hand saying, "Come on, Barry," and taking him, up the stairs or whatever. So I mean, he had that loving family that was still around that really wanted to take care of him, where Hunter Zolomon had the opposite. He was put in an orphanage, and you heard the lady that was in control of the orphanage or whatever, doesn't he have a family or relatives? And they said, yeah, he's got relatives, but nobody wanted him. So I really like that whole mirror image, and those flashback scenes were really creepy too. That the way, that really dark tone, it reminded me of Gotham a little bit. I mean, actual, the tone of Gotham City, where it was very dark and dank and just, really creepy looking. But that was really well done. I really like that stuff, and I really like that they set the foundation moving forward. And I really like those, seeing the flashbacks of actually knowing who Hunter Zolomon Zoom is now. So that was really cool. I really thought that there was some great development between Joe and Wally in this episode, more than what we were getting before. I really liked that the fact that Joe actually gave him a place to live, fixed up that room in his house, and that they're bonding more as a father and son. You even heard Wally call Joe dad. So I really like that stuff, and I thought that was really well done, really cool. Another positive was I thought that the actor who played Zoom, I think it's Teddy Sears. I could be wrong, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think his acting I thought was really well done as Zoom. And that scene where he's being held down by that clamp or whatever, and then you hear him say, "You can't stop the darkness," and the eyes turn black, and then later on in the episode when he gets the Speed Force from Barry and he ejects it into himself, and just that power surging through him, and just the whole acting from him was really well done, playing this double role. I mean, he's really come a long way from being Jake Garrick as earlier in the season to now Zoom, and then portraying that character and the evil you can see in his face, and just all them flashback scenes that you had of him as well were really cool, really well done. So I really like that. I thought Cisco was really strong again in this episode, seeing him evolve as a character and knowing that he has these powers that his doppelganger had in Earth 2. And seeing that he is a little bit conflicted with himself and doesn't really want to go to the dark side. I really love the Star Wars reference that he put in there. I thought that was really funny. And I think it really fits that he doesn't really want to go to the dark side because he felt like Cisco 2 from Earth 2 was good, and then he got these powers and he turned evil. But just like with Barry that said, I have all these powers changing me, and it's the same with you, that you have us. We're a family, and Cisco too, on Earth too, didn't really have that. So, but I like that conflict that he has with himself, and knowing that he could become this. I mean, he could be probably one of the most powerful metahumans around. I mean, he can actually open these breaches to other worlds. This is insane, and control that. And I thought it was really interesting too that Zoom can actually sense him and actually communicate, with him through the breaches and to another Earth or whatever. So that's insane. So that stuff was really well done. Um, but I did have a few negatives. Um, and the first one is actually just a small nitpick negative. Uh, but I thought it was a really dumb idea giving Zoom Barry speed. I thought that was just a terrible idea. I know why he did it, to save Wally. I certainly understand that. But I felt like, well, wait a minute. If you're completely tapped out, who's going to save everybody? Because isn't Zoom just going to kill everybody anyway? I mean, I mean, he's going to have now your power as well on top of what he already had, which is insane. I think it was a bad idea to give him what he wanted. I mean, now he's just going to be able to do anything that he wants, and just what's stopping him now from just killing everybody? I mean, there's no Flash anymore. I mean, what's going to stop him now? So I mean, I thought that was a dumb idea. I mean, I understand why he did it, and I know it's a conflict with Barry to try to do the right thing, to try to save his friends and his mother and his father and everybody. He wants to save everybody, and I certainly understand that. I probably do the same thing, but it's still a dumb idea in the end, because now what's stopping Zoom from just killing everybody? And now he's taken Caitlin. So what's going to happen there? Even though we've seen a glimpse of humanity within Zoom, letting go Barry, not killing him, and then taking Caitlyn. So there might be something going on there. Maybe some humanity. Maybe Zoom can be saved in the end. But that was just a small nitpick. But there was another negative that I had that was a positive and then a negative too. And that is the little Easter egg scene that we got at the beginning when he's got that tachyon accelerator attached to his chest and he can go super fast now. I mean, just insane. And you actually see him actually at one point go through like a portal and then come back out again. And then he comes into Star Labs and he's like, "Am I back? I'm back. How long have I been gone?" And I knew right away that was the reference to when he popped over into the crossover for Supergirl. That when he had that accelerator on, and he ended up going to the world where Supergirl was at, and that whole crossover. So, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. So now we know what happened. Now it's in line with one another of when he actually went to the Supergirl world. So I thought that was really cool. But the negative comes in is like that was it. They dropped it. I was just like, oh, wait a minute, can't they at least touch on that a little bit? Like, oh, I jumped into another Earth and there was another superpowered person there, that, a Supergirl there or something, that she helped me, get back here. There was nothing. There was no reference at all. I mean, he didn't even talk about it. They just dropped it just like that. So that was a negative. It was a positive. I thought that was a really cool little Easter egg, but then they didn't touch on it, so it was a negative. I really wanted them to actually follow up on that, just a small little bit. I mean, I understand they got to move the story along, but they could have talked about it for a few lines anyway. So, yeah, that was a negative. Another small negative is maybe about Iris. I thought that her bringing up the date with her editor in chief or whatever, I mean, I don't really care about that at all. I mean, I think that's bogus anyway. So, that might have been a small negative. But other than that, guys, I thought this was a solid, solid episode. Really well done. And yeah, guys, if there's anything that I missed that you guys really liked about this episode, please let me know in the comments below. Or if there's anything that you didn't like, please write in the comments. But that will do it for me for this week. I will see you guys next week. Until then, take it easy.